In the latest heat map climate poll, it is now showing that 35% of future electric vehicle buyers said Elon Musk had actually made them more likely to purchase a Tesla vehicle, up from 31% in February. We'll take a look at how Democrats, Republicans, and independents scored, as well as males versus females. So has there been brand damage to Tesla caused by Elon Musk's posts on X and his political leanings? Let's take a look. We've got Hans Nelson joining us, and he is got his own YouTube channel called Hans C. Nelson. Welcome, Hans.
Thanks for having me, Herbert.
So this is a question that many of us have been asking. It's been going back and forth among the Tesla retail community. Is Elon Musk a detriment to Tesla stock? Anytime he says something that's controversial on X, people get riled up and says, why are you doing that, right? Why are you a CEO of a major corporation we are investors in? Please don't say anything that's politically, controversial. You're just going to lose people, buyers. And many of us have anecdotal stories of friends and family who say, I will not buy a Tesla no matter how great of a car it is because of Elon Musk. It's crossed my moral compass. So let's take a look at this data. This is a pretty decent survey that was done by Heat Map Climate Poll. And they said that 35% of future EV buyers said that Elon Musk had actually made them more likely to purchase a Tesla. So here's the table, makes it look easy. So the blue, this is in February of 2023, the blue is the people who's more likely, and you can see that by November, it actually rose. That because of Elon Musk, they like him so much, they're more likely to buy or lease a Tesla. And then the orange here, or the peach, they're less likely was February, but it dropped significantly. Look at that, it dropped pretty big time of the people who are less likely. Now this is before, there was another recent controversy where he brought in, what's his name? Can't remember his name right now. I'll come up. And then he brought him on, reinstated him on X.
Oh, Alex Jones.
Alex Jones, yeah. That was before that Alex Jones event happened. But if you look at the no impact people, that it doesn't matter to them whether or not Elon Musk is politically or not politically or saying things, they don't care. They're just going to buy the product. It rose as well. Any thoughts on this research and the survey results?
Yeah, I'm actually, so I haven't seen the breakdown of, whether these are independents or men or women or Republicans or Democrats. So that's one of the pieces of data that I'm looking forward to. But one of the things I think it may actually indicate is just the amount of noise that, in February, I would say that was kind of peak mainstream media attacks on Elon based on the acquisition of the Twitter platform, renaming it to X, a lot of people anticipating that the company was going to fail. And so there was just a lot of noise out in the information landscape that was negative towards him. And I think people are going to say what they are or are not willing to buy kind of on an emotional basis. And those emotions don't necessarily translate into long-term decisions. So, someone might say, oh, I'm so offended right now, I'm never going to buy that vehicle. And then, once they sit with that for a little while and some new information comes out, maybe they're willing to change their minds on that. Or, it also could be that we're just seeing this decline because Elon is tapping into an entire new group of potential EV buyers. And so he's growing the overall, number of potential EV buyers. It's, I'm not exactly sure which one of those factors is going to be really the root cause here, but I'm excited to dig into the numbers a little bit more and figure that out.
Yeah, we'll dig into it a little bit more. I mean, I think one thing people forget is that Elon Musk is a very different CEO that we've ever seen, right? He is such a larger-than-life inventor, somebody who's got a mission-driven. And so the number of people who love him and want to support him is high, just like the number of people who are very offended by his very political movement. I do wonder sometimes if he was somebody who did not offend people, would the stock and the sales be even higher? But this results finally show us that it doesn't really matter. It really isn't. It's a wash, if anything. So let's take a look at that data a little bit more. So it says here that in 27% of Americans who reported wanting to buy an EV in the future said that Elon Musk's behavior made them less likely to pick a Tesla. Okay, 27%. That's a significant number. But that's down from 36% who said the same thing in February. So the number of people who are affected by his behavior has fallen. I think people might be just getting used to it, right? He's like saying, hey, I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to say what I want to say. On the other hand, 35% of prospective EV buyers said that Musk had made them more likely to purchase a Tesla. And then, so this poll was done in November 6th to November 13th. This was before, like I was saying, him reinstating Alex Jones back onto Twitter account and even having a space with him. This was a big, just an amazing, I don't know what the word is, but it's like crazy that he brought back Alex Jones. The poll also conducted days before Musk. He endorsed this anti-Semitic post on X. It looked like he did. It didn't really. And he corrected it right away, leading to an advertised exodus. So this is before those things. But it's also true that since February, there's been plenty of time for other negative headlines that he did. So, those things had to also happen. His mockery of Ukrainian president, his public attacks on this disabled ex-employee, George Soros, Anti-Defamation League, and all that. So here's the breakdown by Democrats and Republicans. 39% of Democrats and left-leaning independents said Musk had made them less likely to look at Tesla. So 39% is a high number, but it's a small drop from the 44% who said the same in February. So that was a huge number. 44% of Democrats were less likely to buy a Tesla. And only 17% of Republicans and right-leaning independents said the same. But here's the kicker. 46% said Musk had no impact on their decision to buy or lease a Tesla, proving that there apparently are some people lucky enough to not have to think about this guy. So they don't even worry. They don't care. Well, the question many of us always say is, do you know what the CEO of, I don't know, Apple and Disney and the others, does it matter to you? And you probably don't even know who the CEOs of Netflix is and others, and you still just use their product. Now, the other thing is price, right? If you're going to buy a car, high ticket item, now that EVs are cheaper or at par with ICE vehicles, money talks. Are you going to, not buy the better car with a lower price point? And that's a big deal. What's your thinking about the results here?
Yeah, I mean, I think that is exactly, the core piece of all of this. At the end of the day, Tesla will be able to sell all the cars they can produce as long as they have their cost of goods low enough to where they can sell them at lower prices and provide more value to the customers than anybody else. Politics are not going to matter at that point in time. People's personal opinions, they're just going to do what they do. So I think, one of the things that might be helpful to think about in all of this conversation is the concept of crossing the chasm, moving from a group of concentrated early adopters who love a product, or maybe I should start on this side so that it makes more sense for everyone. You've got your early adopters over here, and that's a very small group of people, and then you got your bell curve, and then your late adopters over on the other end. And most of the people are in the mainstream adoption category. And so Tesla has in the past really catered to this group of early adopters. And these are the people that really care about climate change, carbon emissions, sustainable energy. They're trying to spend their dollars to signal to the world that they care about the right things. And a Tesla was a very tangible product. People buy products because they make a statement about their identity. This is the same reason that people, they buy these Apple products that have a very specific aesthetic look, because they signal something about that person's identity and character to the rest of the world. And Tesla did a great job of reaching those early adopters with their overall messaging. But the mission of Tesla is not to just satisfy and placate this small group of people over on this end of the political spectrum and the needs and cares that they have. If they want to transition the entire world to a sustainable energy future, they actually have to put products in the hands of Democrats, Republicans, and independents here in the United States, and conservatives and liberals across the world. And so there is kind of an inevitable bit of conflict when you are broadening your customer base, when you've been so focused on this one group of customers for almost the entire existence of your company, and then you begin broadening out to a larger, more mainstream customer base. There are going to be early adopters who are going to feel like, and this is the classic trope that you hear about bands. Oh, they hit it big, now they're just a sellout band. And I mean, part of that is because they're broadening their appeal to a larger overall consumer base. And this is something that Elon was going to have to navigate kind of regardless. And he's really pushing the envelope on that. So I think that a lot of the things that he has said now really, move the brand image of Tesla in that direction for people who actually care about it. But then the other really cool, not so surprising piece, but something that most people don't think about when they look at it, was that 46% number of people who just don't care. Like, we forget that most people don't live on Twitter, most people don't live on YouTube, and most people don't really listen to CNN and MSNBC and all those things. Like, there's a lot of people who live everyday lives who don't have time to spend consuming all of this information that some of us actually do, that they're not even hearing Elon's name for positive or for negative either way. And they're just going to make a decision at the end of the day based on the product that they think is the best, based on whatever limited amount of research or exposure to other people that they have. And 46% is a large number. It's almost the majority of the overall market just doesn't care. Like, this is not the factors that they use to make their decisions.
Yeah, that and the point that we said earlier, which is, Elon Musk actually promotes people to want to buy a Tesla. So that counters his negative component. The other thing here about the final point, and I don't know if this is useful at all, 35% of men said that Elon has made them more likely to buy a Tesla. Only 15% of women said that Elon has made them more likely to buy Tesla. Make of that as you will. Yeah, I don't know if that's helpful.
Yep.
It's out of context. Male
it's interesting. Yeah. I mean, one of the things that Elon being willing to say things that other people don't necessarily like, that's something that it doesn't surprise me that that's more appealing to men than it is to women. Women on average are more likely to try and make peace with everything and not say things that are offensive. And men are much more likely to do that or appreciate it when other people do that. So that doesn't really surprise me.
Good. Okay. Well, this was a great survey, explained a lot of things about what we're worried about. So thank you so much, Hans. Follow him on his YouTube channel, Hans C. Nelson. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye. I've created a website that is the most comprehensive resource for the Tesla investor. Please check it out. Simply go to my website at herbertong.com.